Hey, it's Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. Happy 2021! It's a new year, and hopefully it goes better than the last one, because that was kind of rough. Today I will be doing my January TBR, or to be read, for those of you that don't know. And basically it's just a list of books I'm hoping to get to this month. I might not get to all of them. I might completely read different books that aren't on this list, but these are the ones that I feel like I'm going to read this month. And I think most of these, if not all of them, are fantasies, because when I think of January, just like October and November, I kind of think of like colder, like darker vibes. So that's why I kind of tend to lean toward fantasy books. So that's what most of these are. The first book is one that I heard a lot about in 2020 and I'm really excited to get to, and that is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. After Bree's mother dies, she ends up on this campus where she gets attacked by a magical being. And there's this guy that comes to try to wipe it from her memory, but by doing this, he ends up triggering some magical powers that she didn't know that she had. And on this campus, there's also this secret society called Legendborn, which kind of hunts down these magical creatures. And she ends up getting involved with them because she finds out that there's more to her mother's death than what was in the police report. So she kind of infiltrates this secret society. And once she's a part of it, it ends up being revealed to her that they are descendants of King Arthur's Round Table, something like that. I don't know the terminology, but basically I think this also is kind of a King Arthur retelling, which is really cool. I feel like I've been really into retellings recently, so that's why I kind of was looking forward to this one. This next book is one of the booktube staples, I feel like. At least all of the booktubers I watch have talked about this book, and also I think the fourth book in the series came out at the beginning of last year, so I feel like this is the perfect time to kind of jump into this. And that is The Diviners by Libba Bray. And this follows Evie, who is kind of exiled from her hometown and forced to move in with her uncle in New York City. And this also takes place in the 1920s, by the way, which is super cool. But her uncle is like obsessed with the occult, and she has these secret supernatural powers that she's hoping he doesn't find out. But when a murder victim is found, her uncle gets called to the scene of the crime, and Evie realizes that her powers could help solve the case and find the serial killer. I'm really excited to read this one because not only is it a super popular book in the booktube world, but it also deals with like ghosts and things like that. And during quarantine, I've been watching a lot of ghost adventures, so that's been something I've been really into. So when it uses words like the occult and all of that stuff, those are things that they talk about in the show. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. The next one I'm excited to read in January is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. And this is one I feel like I've talked about a lot recently, but it was in my upcoming releases video, and I've been looking forward to this one for a while. And this follows Amelia and Victoria, who are twin witches, and they're living in secret amongst humans. And one day, Amelia's sister doesn't show up for dinner, so she goes looking for her and finds her desecrated body. And this causes her to go on this path of vengeance. And along the way, she meets one of the princes of hell, who she has been warned against since childhood. And he claims to be on her side, but she's not really sure who to trust. And there's just something about this book that feels very like wintry or like fall to me. So I just really want to get to this in January because I feel like it really fits the vibes. And the cover is really cool, so every time I look at my bookshelf, I feel like this one is just calling to me, and it just sounds amazing. Up next, we have Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. And this follows Rags, who is a thief who ends up getting caught by the Queen's Guard. And they force him to go and find these 6 ancient Fae relics, but along the way, he ends up realizing that these relics are actually people. So they all end up working together and creating this plan to stop the royal sorcerer from getting what he wants. And the main reason I want to get to this one soon is just because of the blurb on the back. It says, "Welcome to the Queen City, a terrible place to live, an excellent place to die." And I mean, how could that not draw you in? It just makes me want to read this one now. Next, I have one that I don't really know too much about, but I've had it for a while and it's just kind of been calling to me recently, and that is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And similar to the last book I talked about, this also involves fae, and all I know about it is that it follows this girl who, after her parents died when she was young, her and her sisters were taken away to this high court of fairy, and they don't really accept humans, they kind of despise them. So all she's really been striving to do this whole time is fit in, and she'll kind of do whatever she can to make that happen. And that's all I really know about it. Like I said, I've had it for a while. I also got it from the bargain section, and it's a Holly Black book, so those are always like really popular in BookTube and everybody usually likes them, so I'm really excited to give a new series a chance. I'm really excited for this next one because I heard amazing things about it at the end of last year, and I was super lucky to have Owl Crate choose this book for December, and that is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I was so excited when I found out this would be coming in my Owl Crate box, and it just sounds great because it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling that takes place in 1920 Shanghai, and there's this age-old blood feud between gangs, and the heirs of the gangs used to be in love with each other, I think, or in a relationship of some kind until he betrayed her. And so they hate each other, of course. But then one day, members of both of the gangs start to claw out their own throats, and people start to whisper about something lurking in the shadows, and so the two of them have to set aside their differences and work together to save the people in their gangs and make sure that people just survive, basically. Try to save all the people in their gangs so that they have a future. That was a really weird way to put it. I don't know what I was trying to say at the end. But basically, it sounds amazing and the cover's gorgeous. I think this might be the first one that I pick up. I don't know too much about this next one, but I got this one also from an Owl Crate box, and this one is Among the Beasts and Briars by Ashley Poston. And all I know about it is that it takes place in this kingdom that has these forbidden forests next to it. And Karis, our main character, when she was young, she barely escaped from the forest while it killed her friends and her mother. And she has some of the curse in her because she has magic in her blood, which is a constant reminder of what she lost that day. And this one just sounds really cool because there's magic, which I love in books, and also a forbidden forest just sounds perfect for January. It just feels like it fits. And it's also interesting because it sounds like a super dark story, but the cover has like pinks and purples and like really fun colors on it. So that kind of surprised me when I read the synopsis, but it just seems like it fits January's vibes. So I'm definitely hoping to get to this one. And last but not least, I have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling, which is the third book in the Harry Potter series. For those of you that don't know, I feel like everybody has read it, but I'm slowly moving along, so I'm hoping to get to book 3. I tried not to read the synopsis because somehow I've avoided all the information about the series like throughout my life. I don't know how I've managed that, but I'm really trying to go into these books blind just because they're super fun reads and I really like being surprised by them. Alright, so those are all of the books on my January TBR. At the end of the month, I will be doing a January wrap-up to tell you guys what books I read this month, so hopefully some of these match what I ended up reading at the end of the month. But please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and also make sure to click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.